Getting live here on Instagram with Flex and Flow, and we got YouTube starting up. So nice to have you. Let me turn the volume up a little better. Alissa Marguerite coming to you here again from Flex and Flow. Happy Wednesday. When you're ready to join me on the mat, go on and get yourself set up. We're going to begin on the back today. And the theme for this class is lower back, high spirits. So I've just been thinking about like the balance between our two ends, right? And the different chakras that make up our lower portion and then our higher portion of our bodies. And how when one is off balance, it can affect the stream of the others. And I would say just the way that we work and function in today's society, the lower back is a very common place where people are asking or just saying like, I have low back pain. You know, for me right now, I've been house sitting for a few weeks, and it's not the bed I would choose for myself. It's a very soft mattress, and so I've been experiencing, you know, that back pain or just a lot of sensation in my lower back. And so I just had this idea of, you know, when one thing's feeling low, how can we then help bring our spirits back up? Because often it's hard to focus on other things when we're feeling a particular way, especially in our own bodies. So come onto your back on the mat. Bring your knees to the chest. And without moving for a few moments, just try and really extend your spine onto the mat. Let your body get heavy and feel that sense of downwards taking over. And don't force your knees as close to your chest as possible. Just let the weight of the legs continue to fall or sink the thighs closer to the chest. And then breathing in a way that expands wide the lower back on the inhale. And then see if you can imagine it expanding and settling even more on your exhale. And we'll take 4 more rounds, just slow, widening, grounding breath. And try not to constrict the breath or pull the breath. And then really just relax at the front of your hips. And start to move the knees away while keeping the back, and the lower back especially, on the floor. So as minimal of an arch as possible. If it's impossible to not arch a little bit, that's okay. And then flex into the ankles there. Lift the toes and try and spread out through your feet. And start to feel your abdominals turning on as you press your feet into an imaginary wall. And then slide your hands up your legs. Start to push your hands and your thighs together. And then just lift the head and the neck. And feel a sense of contracting in your middle as you press your feet, as you press your thighs and your hands together. 1 more breath. With control, lean back, slide the hands down, reach them out to the side, and then bring your inner legs together. Bring your big toes together as well. Start to thrust your heels towards the ceiling. And then start to thrust your heels away while resisting the thrust by drawing your navel back and down. And again, as much of your low back towards the floor as possible. Keep thrusting the legs. One more breath. And then bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. Press the hips into a bridge pose. A little bit less of a back bend here, just lifting the pelvis, and just move the hips right and left a couple times. And then swing your hips to the right, draw your knees to the left. Simple twist. And then using the feet to lift the pelvis back up, swing the hips more to the left and bring your knees to the right. Last breath. And come on to the back. Bring your knees back up overhead. Reach for your shins again in Apanasana. Now use some compression. Gently squeeze your thighs towards your belly. And then we're going to kick the feet away and rock up into boat. And then hug the shins down and lean back into Apanasana. So using the momentum of the press of your feet and the pelvic floor towards the navel, lift up into your boat pose. And then controlled rock into Apanasana. Take 3 more rounds. Lift and hold. You can use your hands if you need to come up. Press the floor, find a little more lift to the heart, and then rock back. And up. And rock back. Take a breath here. And a breath out. Rock on your empty breath up into that boat. We'll hold for 3. Come on to the sitting bones, lean the chest back a tiny bit for 2. Let this be, mild. You don't have to give it your all just yet. Last breath. And cross your shins in front of you. Press your hands to the floor. And let's just take some circles. Moving the shoulders. Moving the chest. Imagine you're tracing a circle around the center of your spine. And then lift up through the center. Check which shin is in front. So for me, it's my left shin. So I'm going to turn or take a quick twist around the spine to the left. If your right shin is in front, take a twist to the right. Take a look over the left shoulder or the right shoulder. And then exhale, come through the middle. Lean back again, boat pose. Press forward into the sitting bones, lean the heart back just a tiny bit more. And then cross the shins, other way. And see if you can make circles in the other direction that you just made them in. Taking another round or 2, and then begin to slow down, center your spine, and then checking which shin is on top. Now it's my right. I'm going to twist towards that one. Don't pull yourself into the twist. Use your navel to twist yourself. Maybe take a gaze over that back shoulder. And the next exhale is going to soften you, center you, lean back, come into your boat. See if you can press your feet up this time. Press into your big toes together, nice and strong. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1. Rock back, keep your legs up, maybe tap your toes, and then come into a forward fold at the if you're feeling your sitting bones pulling you up and creating more of a forward of your heart and kind of your butt splitting open, I want you to instead round a little bit and wrap your sitting bones down and lift or puff up between your sacrum with your breath. One more inhale. One more exhale. Relax down into the feet. Let the head grow even heavier. And then rise up to stand. At the top of the mat, lift your right knee up. And then swing it back behind you, but keep the knee bent. Lift the foot up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to land back in a lunge with the knee bent and the toes will catch. Finding neutral pelvis. Don't tuck your tailbone under, but instead lengthen your tailbone along the inner knee. Gently lift the front of your hips if you need to, or bring them forward if you need to. Hug your hips towards each other, reach your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, tap your knee down. Inhale up. Exhale, tap. Up. Tap. From here, we're going to press forward, lengthen the right leg, lean the heart over the left thigh, and then bring the hands to the floor. Three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. And as you exhale, take your left big toe and first toe, and hook the ankle, the back of your ankle there. And then come forward into a high plank. Lift your low belly. Press the hands, give them a good grip. And then drop your right heel. Stagger your legs, side plank. High plank. Undo your toe lock and come down to the belly. Bring your forearms forward. Space pose. Take up space, pressing the pubic bone down. Lifting through the front of the chest. Spreading behind the shoulder blades a little bit as well. One more breath. Bring the hands back where the elbows were. Lean the heart down. High plank. And downward facing dog. Bend your knees a lot. Take that squatted dog. We'll push forward, high plank to down dog. Squatted dog. Push forward, high plank. Downward facing dog. Squatted dog. Lengthen your butt. Try not to arch. Okay, let's round towards the floor a little more today. And then high plank. Right knee into chest. Step between your hands. And bring your left knee down. Inhale and lift up. As you exhale, half split. First start at the pelvis, lengthen the back, then lengthen the right leg. Press the heel forward and support on either side of your right leg as you need. Last breath in. Finding a forward fold at the top of the mat with your right foot. Maybe your hands come forward, and as you lift off, you kick your left heel towards the sky, and then fold, knees bend, 3 breaths at the top of the mat. Let the head go. Spread the sacrum. Try not to pull. If you're feeling a lot of pulling, you can take the version today where you rest your forearms on your thighs. And stand all the way up when you're ready. Hands through heart center. Lift your left knee towards your chest. Keep this leg bent. We'll transfer as we take a bit of an airplane pose variation. And then we land left toes, left knee towards the floor. Find your neutral pelvis. Support in. Hug your right big toe inward. Hug your left big toe inward as well. Reach your arms up. Follow and exhale, bend the elbows, tap the knee. Inhale up. And bring it down. Inhale up. Tap it down. Then from here, we'll lean forward, lengthen the back leg. It's a little push, like a little emphasis. And then hands to floor. Three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Again, resist the urge to dump your back and dump your shoulders. Hug into the joints. Take your right big toe and that first toe and hook your left back heel. And come forward to plank and breathe. Feel it out. Side plank, drop your left heel. Keep your legs staggered, lift your inner thighs towards each other. Resist the urge to push your hips forward. High plank. Step the feet open and to your belly. Again, Sphinx pose. Slide the forearms forward. Spread your low back out and then lift the upper back. Open the heart. 2 breaths. Resist any jamming at the lower back. And then slide the hands under. Press up and lift to your high plank. And downward facing dog. 3 times from here. Bend the knees, pull them towards the armpits energetically. Press forward, high plank. Don't lose your belly. Down dog. Squatted dog. Launch it forward. And downward facing dog. Last time. High plank. And then left knee to the chest. And step the foot down. Right knee to the floor. And we'll inhale to lift up. Move the pelvis back first. Half split. Lengthen the left leg forward. And notice if you're really kind of collapsing at your waist, you might take this in more of an upright approach. This might require a little bit more inner leg effort. But let's take the emphasis out of always bending from the deep low back. Okay, traveling forward. On the way up, you might press your right leg to the sky. And then fold at the top of the mat. This time, we'll just take a sun salutation A between both sides. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, heart leans forward. Exhale, offer to the earth, high to low plank. Cobra, upper facing, support the waist. Glutes and toes are strong. And downward facing dog. Breath in here. On the breath out, bend the knees. And as you step or hop forward, it's like bringing a thigh to the belly. And then stepping. Or bringing both thighs to the belly. And then landing. Lengthen the spine slightly forward, drop the tailbone. And fold. Come all the way up to stand. Bring your right knee with you this time. And then take that airplane. Drop the thigh, but keep the foot. And the knee in flexion. Okay, step back into that lunge. This time we'll just tap the knee while the arms go up. And then we'll press forward and reach. Bring it back, tap the knee, lift the arms up, lengthen your front and back waist. And then forward and reach. One more time. Forward and reach, triangle pose. Right heel drops, heart starts to open. And just moving in the pelvis if you're feeling a little locked, but allowing this left thigh to open back, this right thigh to spiral in and down. Half moon. I like to bring the knee over the ankle first, really set up that strong base leg, tilt and rise. Strong press through both legs. One more breath. Start to draw the heart towards the floor, right thigh towards the floor. Step back, Three-legged dog, left leg to the sky. Hook that right heel with your toes, come forward, high plank. Side plank. Open to the left, right hand, right heel down. High plank. Uncross your legs. Come to the belly. Sphinx pose. From Sphinx pose, that was a mouthful. Little tongue twister there. From Sphinx pose, we're gonna press into the big toes and let the inner thighs charge up. Then I want you to scoop your pubic bone off of the floor and start to lift the pelvis, and then the knees might come off the floor. So you might stay here or here. It's okay if your hips go up. It's okay if your weight moves back from your shoulders. We'll hold for another 3, another 2, and 1. Lower the knees first, and then the pubic bone. Inhale, lift the throat. Exhale as you lower down, hands slide under. High plank to downward facing dog. One time, we'll bend the knees. Rock forward, high plank. Right knee to chest and foot down. Left knee to the floor. As you lift up, lean into the pelvis. We'll straighten the right leg. This time we'll stay lifted. And we'll take the right arm up and open to the right. And then close it down and meet the left hand in front of the chest. 2 more times. Open it to the right. And close it down. Last time. Close it down. And then airplane pose. Come up on your right leg. Slide your left thigh in. And then tilt from the chest, not the low belly. Fold forward at the top of the mat. Lengthen the heart forward. Take a vinyasa if you want. So you could stay in your fold, or you might play with your transition, high to low, cobra, or upward facing, downward facing dog. And then hips high as you step or hop forward and fold, meeting at the top of the mat. Once arriving, take one more breath and out. Rise up to stand, this time left knee to the chest. And then lean while the leg stays up. And then step back, lengthen it down. Lean back and lift the arms up. And exhale, take it forward. Inhale up. And exhale, lengthen forward, lift the knee. One more time, up and back, and forward. That triangle pose, open it up. Big wide heart. Space for your low back. The tailbone's not angling back behind you. Widen the sacrum. One more breath, and then into half moon. Let that leg land over the heel. Take your right arm out, lift up, press and roll the heart open. One more breath. Start to close the heart down. Patch the floor, both hands, square hips. 3-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Hook your left ankle or heel and forward. Side plank, open to the right. High plank. Undo the legs and come to the belly. Sphinx pose. Option to stay. Or start to draw in from the thighs. Lift the pubic bones. Spread your lower back out. Knees down or knees off the floor for 3. For 2. For 1. Lower back down, control. Lift and open the throat. And then high plank to downward facing dog. One round, bending the knees. Squatted dog, press forward to high plank. Left knee to the chest, step through. Right knee to the floor. Lean back, lift up. And then come into that half split standing. Hands come forward. We'll open the left arm rather, to the left and twist. And then close it back to the front of the room. Open it out. And together. One more time. And together. Airplane pose. Land in your left foot. Slide your thighs together first. And then lean. Let the heart be more of the anchor than the pelvis, which wants to kind of do more of the work. So if you lead with the heart, it might help keep your lower back more lengthened. Hug the thighs in. And then fold at the top of the mat. From here, lengthening the heart. Your choice, traveling through a vinyasa. Hugging in as you lower down. Cobra upward facing to downward facing dog. A big breath. And then knees to the floor. Walk your hands in as you round your spine into cat pose. And then from cat pose, just rock the weight from the hands to the knees a few times. And then let this become little spinal waves. Not necessarily full cow pats, but just letting your spine kind of naturally open and close. Lengthening front, lengthening back. Lengthening front, lengthening back. And then we'll land in the middle. Let yourself pause. And just breathe here, feeling a sense of your belly wanting to receive the floor, but then the little anti-gravity sense of lifting the deep back muscles, keeping the waist wide. And the breath calm. And then we'll take the left arm underneath the chest. As you slide, bring the left shoulder to almost the center of where you sense your knees are. So if you were to draw from the shoulder to the knees and up, it might make a triangle. And then let's keep the ribs from dropping towards the floor, and instead let's hug those ribs in and hug the inner knees in. The temple can rest on the mat, and you can tuck your chin a little bit to protect your neck if it feels any awkwardness in the shape. Last breath. Slide the palm in, come through the middle, and root the left hand. Regain a sense of all fours and a sense of balance between right and left hemisphere. And then we'll bring the right arm under. Resist the urge to move your hips as you twist. Resist the urge to twist from your upper body too much. Just offer the shoulder down to what you feel like the center between the legs. Rest the tempo. Draw the ribs more in today instead of that, which might want to pull us into. So gently contain. Create little locks throughout the joints. Just hugging in to all of the places that feel loose or vulnerable. and then come back through the middle. Tilt the heels to the right, lift the left arm open. Keep that back long. And then back to the middle. And then open to the right. And back to the middle, open to the left. One more time each side. Come back to that hover. From your hover, hug your right knee as close to your right arm as you can without moving your right arm back. And then back. And then left knee to left arm. Don't worry if it doesn't touch. And then back. One more time, right. Back, left. Back, down dog. A little shorter than usual. Knees bent. Belly lifted, but it's breathing. It's receiving the breath. And then press into your hands. Hug your elbows in, bring them down to the floor. Dolphin. Press the floor, lengthen the elbows out, down dog. And then your choice, you can take quick child's pose or play with going to dolphin from down dog, and then to dolphin from down dog, and then back to downward facing dog from dolphin. 2 or 3 more times. Keeping your tail really lifted. Your legs are receptive, so the upper body doesn't get too heavy. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And then at the hands, press, lift, find the top of the mat, pull. Slowly begin your rise up. Chair pose, slowly sink down. From chair, lean hard, tap the fingers to the floor. Hug your inner thighs together. Press your inner knees together. Drop into your feet. And then lift and press your arms up and tap your back. Up and tap your back. 2, 1. Lift up. Right elbow underneath left. Eagle arms. Lift your right knee and cross your thighs. One more breath. Unravel, lift your right knee up. Take that seesaw with your right knee bent. Take that lunge with your neutral pelvis. Right knee stays bent. Lift the arms in down. Lean forward and fly on the exhale. And then revolve your lunge to the left. Right arm across the thigh. Left hand can come to hold the back if you'd like I'm showing today. Or you can open the arm from the chest. Last breath. Warrior 2. Feel that thigh. Mine's on fire. Side angle lunge. Lengthen the right waist. Try not to stick your bum out. Right hand to the floor. Left hand to the floor. 3-legged dog. Hook your right heel. High plank. Side plank open to the left. And then lift your left leg for 3, for 2, for 1. Step your left foot forward. Right knee down. And we'll just breathe here in a dragon lunge. So, for this one, if your low back is feeling still very tender, then I want you to tuck your tail forward and kind of round your upper back. If you're feeling space, and you can play with that space from your upper thighs, letting that left knee come a little more forward, pressing through the right inner leg, feeling gentle sense of a full split. One more breath. We'll fold at the top of the mat. You might press off, lift the right leg, you might wobble a bit like I did, and then fold. Start to rise up slowly. Chair pose. We'll sink down in the legs, tap the floor, a little bit of a roundedness to the spine. And then as we bring the arms up 4 times, we'll tap the back of the heart. Last one. And then left elbow under right, left leg over right. Wrap your eagle. Last breath. Unravel. Take that lunge or airplane version we've done today to move us into lunge with the knee bent. Neutral pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, lean. Press and extend through the back leg. And then turn open into your revolve lunge. Right hand to the sacrum or the low back, or opens the chest. One more breath, and then warrior 2. Open it up. And then side angle lunge. Hands to floor, frame the foot, 3-legged dog. Right toes, hook left heel, high to side plank. And then lift your right thigh for 3. Try not to dump your back, 2. And 1. Step that right foot forward and lunge. Here's your little break. You might hug into the low back, or you might press the hips actively forward and the legs actively apart, finding a sense of full split from your lunge. Forward folding at the top of the mat. One step, lift off, maybe a kick, and then fold. Here we meet, bend the knees, round your back. See how close you can sit to your heels without lifting them off the floor. And then press your feet down, hug your knees to your armpits, and then kick up and tap your hands 10 times. Then last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold your toes, rock back onto your shoulders if that feels okay, and plow, or just kind of rock back to here. Breathe. Last 2 breaths. Slowly bend your knees if you're upside down. Release your toes. Apanasana, just like we began. Just take a few rounds of breath. Okay, if you need water, please take water. I'm just gonna come say hello. Feel free to rock around there a little bit. Who's on here today? I hope you're all doing good and pretty warm. Okay. Let's move the knees away from the belly again. Keep most of the low back on the floor. And just notice how that action of taking the knees away from the chest while they press together, it starts to engage the abdominals. And then we're going to press the arms up And this time, we're going to move the armpits towards the knees without moving the knees. So it's lift, contract, and then lean back. Lift, contract, lean back. Take about 10. Press up through the hands. Hug your inner legs together. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll hold there at the top. Reach your hands by your hips. And then pull your thighs very slowly towards your nose. Last breath. And then we'll take twists. Knees to the left. Let your belly expand. Release all of that contraction. Reach your right arm out to the side. Adjust your chin so it feels like your neck is neutral. Not leaning too far back or pulling too far forward. Last breath here. And then take the knees up through the middle and over to the right. Soften. See if you can feel the valley of the left hip now. Just releasing. Bring your knees to the middle. Take your right knee over the left. If the knees crossing together doesn't seem to fit, just take your right ankle over your left thigh. But try to keep your pelvis more neutral. So for many of us, the pelvis will tilt a little bit to favor the leg that's on top. It will lift that hip up. So just kind of actively anchor and extend that hip away from the direction that it's lifting. And then maybe draw your thighs closer without pulling. And then change the cross of the legs. Come into that neutral or more neutral, stable pelvis. And 5 breaths there. Second side. Undo the cross of the legs, take them straight up into the air. Cup your hands around your low belly and just gently press and scoop as you press your legs up. From here, if you'd like to just point and flex, roll the ankles a few times. Just really receiving the ground on your back. And especially your low back. Okay. Now, we'll play with a shape that you can bend your right knee. If you don't have knee issues and you can rock forward into the shape with your knee like that to your half hero, you can go ahead and bend your right knee, catch your ankle, and as you rock up, you just kind of bring it with you and place it on the floor. If not, you'll rock up. You might then bend the knee, pull it over, use the hand for help, or if that feels like way off balance and you need to bring yourself on a block or a cushion, go find that now. And if none of the above suit your needs, just bend your knee and draw it in as close as you can without the use of your hands, and then we'll play with just leaning back from any of those positions. So, either your half heroes. As you lean back, if you're able to come onto the forearms, lift and adjust your seat so that your tailbone stays long, your low back stays lengthened, and then you might be able to come onto the back without any pain in your lower back. Bring the focus to the top of that thigh. You might get some sensation or some tightness up here on the side waist. I might give that a little grab and a shake. You can breathe with it. You can pat the upper leg and hold. Now, leaning back is optional. We'll stay 3 more breaths wherever you're at. Now, if you're all the way back, hug your inner thighs together, lift your spine up, and then change your legs. If you want to play with entering from your roll, you'll roll onto your back, re-lift your legs, this time bend your left knee, and then come forward and place the breath. Pause there. And then start leaning back. Last breath in and out. Start to gather yourself in the middle, lift yourself up, and extend both legs. And we'll take one forward fold here from Paschimottanasana. I'm going to bend my knees today, just to keep a little more space here. So, as I'm going to do that, I'm going to press into the fronts of the sitting bones, tilt the heart forward, hug the ribs in, reach the hands, drop the head. Slowly moving the breath through the upper back. Press into the hands, lift the heart up. Press the legs forward in your Dandasana, hands by your side. And we'll breathe here for 3. Let all the tension melt down from the head through the seat. Okay, for the last few moments, if you'd like to bring your legs up the wall today, or if you have a chair nearby, you could take the version where you rest your heels up on a chair and you can lay into your back for Shavasana today. I'm going to flip around and bring my legs up the wall, and I'm going to offer us this for about 3 minutes. I find, in the summertime, we're doing a lot more physical things, so giving this a few extra moments to our lower back for care is kind of where I was at today. So, join me in something restful. You can always place a pillow under your knees. Get yourself set up. And just invite in the rest of the practice, or the restful part of the practice, and a sense of releasing and receiving all of the benefits of your physical effort. When you're ready to move again, just offering some awareness through the limbs, encouraging all the senses and reconnecting to your nervous system. Allow your breath to pick back up. And just inviting the moment back to the room, to your body, to your space. and either staying somewhere on your back or moving into a seat. I want you to take a few moments sitting upright with your spine and just tapping into how it's feeling now. And taking a moment to just ponder, what the things are that you can try or how you can act or think or do when you're feeling low, to bring you back into that space that might feel a little more high, a little more present, and a little less ruled by the sensation or emotional body. And then calling upon gratitude and deep appreciation for the self. Letting your hands find each other, give them a little bit of a rub today. Awakening the heart. And take the warmth of the hands. When you're ready, just bring them over the face. Just receive some of that warmth as you blink open the eyes and return to your Wednesday afternoons. Thank you so much for giving me your attention, for giving your lower back some love, and just incorporating your practice into your day. If you have questions, as always, let us know, and keep checking the website. We have the launch of our classes going straight to Zoom or to Zoom only coming up in August. Be on the lookout for an email, and feel free to message us at any time. We're here to serve you. Thank you so much. Be well.